Let me define natural. Natural theology is defined, and Aquinas states this too, and it's, confirmed in Roman Catholicism, also in the encyclical letter Fides et Ratio. What the human mind, by the natural light of reason alone, can know about God apart from divine revelation. That is the most blasphemous thing you could ever say for it. Why? Well, first of all, notice what is Demetrius Ananias. It makes an essential distinction between the two spheres. Furthermore, God is not immanent, and because notice it doesn't. It's a denial of natural revelation. So nothing can be known apart from revelation. So the question is, well, is it natural revelation? Is it the divine energies eminent, or is it, is it supernatural? So it's wrong on that. But there's no way to ever, if you're isolated in your own sphere, because what you're doing is an autonomous rebellion against God. I can alone know apart from your revelation. Then you're locked in your own sphere of reason and speculation. It's like a biofeedback. Like it's just speculation upon speculation. And there's no way to be able, and from that finite position and closed off from truth, i.e. divine revelation, like it's like an echo chamber. There's no way to actually be able to even justify, first of all, to get outside of your head that there's even an external world, but to ever justify that knowledge even exists. That's why we don't believe in natural theology. We believe in natural revelation, because natural theology is blasphemous. Unless somebody's equivocating on natural theology. Demetrius Ananias' Orthodox Dogmatic Theology, the Experience of God, Chapter 1. I feel like I'm the AI, no, the read out loud reader. The Orthodox Church makes no separation between natural and supernatural revelation. Natural revelation, so the divine energies in creation, the trees, the birds, is known and understood fully in light. Because think about it. What is a tree, and what does it mean to be green, and what grounds those, and how do they exist, and stuff like that. There's all this, everything that you look at in creation has questions, right? So God is speaking to you in creation, but these are pieces, and they can't be understood because they imply other questions too, without the whole. Supernatural revelation is the whole, which is why Demetrius Ananias is saying they cannot be understood. The natural revelation, God's divine energies in creation, can't be understood apart from, and it is fully understood in light of supernatural revelation. Or we might say that natural revelation is given and maintained by God because he's in there, in his energies, continuously through his own divine act, which is above nature. So notice this question. He is above nature and he's in nature. But the God who is in nature, through his divine energies, i.e. natural revelation, is maintained by God who is above nature. That's why St. Maximus, the confessor, does not posit an essential distinction. So in the West they do. But it's like, it's God. There's not an essential distinction. There's a distinction, but not an essential one the way that the West does, between the natural revelation and supernatural or biblical one. According to him, this latter, right, the biblical one, supernatural revelation, is the only embodiment of the former in the historical persons and actions. This affirmation of Maximus must probably be taken more to the sense that two revelations are not divorced from one another. Supernatural revelation unfolds and brings forth its fruit within the framework of natural revelation, like a kind of casting of the work of God into bolder relief, guiding the physical and historical world toward that goal for which it is created, in accordance with the plan laid down from all ages. Supernatural revelation merely restores direction. So it is the canon. Does that make sense? And so in terms of tag, we're asking questions. We start with certain kind of, let's say, phenomenological facts or something like that. I use my reason. There's trees, there's green. I have these concepts. There's an external world. There's all these pieces in which God is revealing that. But then the question becomes, what does that mean? What does green mean? Is it universal? Does it exist as a particular? Can I get outside of my mind? Are these just concepts? Etc., etc. All of those particular things lead to other questions. This is what justification and grounding is about. And so what St. Demetrius Staniloae is saying is only supernatural revelation, the katraholos, right? The whole, which is the lens in the rubric, in the canon by which can answer that. So that's why we actually say ultimately those things. So if you have different kind of hierarchies of justification, yeah, we'd probably justify some empirical thing by some logical category or something like that. But it just moves the question back. So yes, logic is a necessary condition for, categorizing the things empirically sensed in the world and stuff. But what about logic, right? What about all the things? Ultimately, we would say that they're only justified and could be grounded in a personal God in lights of the supernatural revelation.